The following is rated F for fairness. Viewers' discretion is advised.
Welcome to the audio show.
Friends, there's a lot of things going on here. A lot of things going on. Let me start off by saying, again, the woman cannot be right if she's saying that all the things we last year, of all the things that Anthony did with Shayla, we sat on here, we laughed, we trolled, we criticized him for doing these things. Now, they have flipped the story around and they flipped it on the Amber character. The point of the matter is this. The girl is out of place and out of line. No one cares if she wants a divorce. May the best person win. That's divorce for you in a nutshell. You're not wrong in asking for a divorce. Where you are wrong is in trying to basically go out, go cheat and come back in bare face. That's where you're wrong. Let's go.
Yeah, okay, let's go get some fruit too. I'll cut some fruit for you, okay?
You know, Amber, how is it that someone so beautiful could have so much of the devil inside of her?
Anthony, I don't have time for this.
No. I know I've said this before.
Well, you're going to say it a couple more times because it has not yet sunk in and it has not gone through. Right now, her mind is set on Dave and that's about it, sir. But you're free to go ahead and go for it. And by the way, Amber is babysitting again. So when she says the things about Shayla and the things that him do with Shayla and this and that with Shayla and this and that with the baby, she's babysitting again. I'm just making it clear. She's babysitting again. Even in the presence of Anthony, she's babysitting again. Anyways.
But now that I'm closer to God, I may not have known what you and Wayne were doing. But you know who did? God did. God sees all, he knows all, he hears all. And for you to throw the ring, the symbol of our love, in my face and brag about not having a prenup? You know why I didn't sign a prenup? Because I planned on staying with you for the rest of my life. To the day I leave this earth, till God calls me home.
So let's talk about that, because a lot of people right now, when they talk about Anthony, they talk about him in despicable terms and they talk about him as a no good cheating husband and as a husband who is worth nothing, and they talk about him like a dog, and you name the words. This is how they speak about the Anthony character. But let's be very, very frank and be real though. And that's exactly what I said in the previous video. Anthony will have to learn that yes, there are women out here who are coming for the dollars. Because whether I like it or not, Amber is coming for the dollars. But yes, when Anthony got married to Amber, he got married to Amber in good faith. But when we realize that people has used the Shayla thing and they have disregarded the fact that this man has married Amber in good faith. Because if he never married her in good faith, he would have, I guess, at least give her another a prenup. And even then, but the mere fact that this is supposed to be a wealthy man that has a lot of things with a house and everything else, and then marry a woman into that. I'm just saying. But the way how he's put up is as though, and don't get me wrong, by the way, let me make it clear again. I'm not whitewashing nothing that Anthony has done. But what he's saying right there, I don't think he's incorrect. He married Amber in good faith.
That was my plan. I didn't have plans on messing with Shayla. Not at all. The only person I saw was you. But you saw Wayne. And I never would even be in this situation if you didn't do what you did. If you didn't do what you did. So you see, Amber, in turn, you created me.
All right, so let's critique what he's saying here. So he would never be in this situation if she never did what she did. Not quite. Not quite. Not quite. You're in this situation because, all right, let's work it out. Even if carry the one, carry the two, the going back is something to talk about. Anthony going back over and over again. That's him putting himself in a situation. Let's work it out. You doing your thing with Shayla again and again and again is you putting yourself into that situation. While I understand the first night, and I understand you may be intoxicated, so I get it. You know what I mean? That's what it is. Lack of self-control is what put you where you are. Not Amber put you where you are in that. No. I think Anthony is talking about the fact that she messed with Wayne. So basically it tipped him over the edge. So in other words, he's making the argument now with that because I think he wants to ask the audience, well, can he claim the same thing that Amber is claiming? Because right now the audience is saying that Amber is where she is because of what Anthony has done with Shayla. So Anthony is now saying, well, truth of the matter is a lot of the ways where I went about things was because of where you went with Wayne. That is exactly where he's at. Just trying to frame it as much as possible. Don't know if though is all her blame. I don't know about that. I mean, I don't know about that part.
You created this version of Anthony, Mr. Dog. And the problem with you is you can't stand what you created. And now that you've created this version of Anthony, you're ready to give up on it.
So in other words, he's still fighting for it. Okay. Let's put some more context on what we talked about before. Amber has created the derivative Shayla. So in other words, Amber has allowed Shayla to run inside the marriage. Now, if you want to say as a result of Amber giving Shayla so much power and time and control of her marriage, so much so that her friend could have run rampant between the two of them, there's an argument to be made there. Again, I don't just believe that everybody just creates you. You are being created and being shaped by your own decisions. So I can't just fully rock with that. When you're inebriated, when you're intoxicated, that was different. But when you have your logical brain working, and I get it, you can have reactions, but your reaction can't be every day. So that's where I have to flag him on a lot of the statements he's making here. Some of what he's saying is true, some of what I'm saying is false.
What? And all I'm trying to do is get back to the Daltons that we were supposed to be before you did what you did. So you nothing but Frankenstein. You created the monster.
Mommy.
And now you want to get rid of it.
Mommy. Mommy.
Oh my God.
All right, great speech, but the speech have a lot of holes in the speech. I'm going to be very frank with your friends. You know me already. O'Neill speaks very, very clearly, and I speak very, very equally. The speech has holes in it. As far as Amber creating it to make him what he is right now, I don't know about that fully. I don't know about that. Now, if he wants to say that basically it's Amber's fault that Shayla has run a rampant and a rock between the two of them, you're right in that respect. If you want to say what you have done with Wayne has affected me negatively, you're right in that respect. But what you can't say is that she made you keep going back again and again and again and again and again. You can't say that. Because we're not giving Amber the pass right now as far as Dave is concerned. We're expecting that she would have held it together. So we can't give her that pass. So I'm sorry about that, sir. We can't give you no take right here, sir. You're going to have to take the responsibility right here. And that's why he needs to go through more things, because clearly he still is seeing the blame on an outward level. And you have to see the blame on an inward level for change to happen. For him to change, there has to be an inward level of responsibility. And he's not fully there yet. But I love the fact that Amber has punched him with whatever it is for him to know, yes, he is right though in saying that he married her in good faith, because if he didn't, he would have done a prenup and he probably would marry her and all of those things. That is to be credited. But a lot of times people try to throw that under the rug as though it's nothing at all. I hear some talk about him and they make it look as though he wasn't trying to get a wife. They make it look like that's what it wasn't. Anyways, give me a take. I'm curious to hear what you guys think of this one. I'll talk to you soon. Like, share, comment, subscribe.